All right, so we're at 8:30. Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Tara Healey, and I want to welcome everyone to our Thursday morning gathering, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim and Tufts Health Plan. And the practice is, for anybody who's new, the practice is fully guided, usually about 12 to 14 minutes in length. We save time at the end for Q&A, and we typically start off either with a poem or a question. And I thought, today is August 1st. And so the question that I have for folks is, what so far this summer has been a highlight for you that has felt restorative, or what is yet to come that you're looking forward to as we enter this last full month of the summer? And so go ahead and again, for anybody who's just joined, to go ahead and open the chat. The fall. So I'll say I had a really fun trip to Ireland, and the highlight of that trip in particular was going out on a boat to circle the Blasket Islands and to really connect in with the wildlife out there and the birds and even caves that the boat was able to get into. And I'm of Irish heritage, have been to Ireland many, many times, both sides of the family, Irish on both sides. And I had never done that tour, and it was remarkable. And the whole way back, we had dolphins just joining us. So it was pretty remarkable and felt incredibly restorative. Gardening, flowers, yoga, nice, Winnipesaukee, conversation with friends. Yeah, it's really, this is kind of an interesting month. My sister, whose house I'm at today, is a teacher, and she always says, August just feels like a month of Sundays, just anticipating the return of school. So So with that, let's go ahead and move into practice. So situate yourself in a way that is upright and engaged, yet at the same time relaxed. So holding yourself in a way that's not too loose and not too tight. Eyes can be open or closed, whatever feels like it's going to serve you best this morning. And take a couple deep breaths just as a way to settle in and settle any surface tension, making your exhalation a little longer than your inhalation. And see if you can surrender your weight into the support of the ground below. And noticing the points of contact with the body and the surface, just feeling the subtle connection points. And noticing what sensations are present in your body from your activity so far today. So pulsing, vibration, temperature, tingling, like you're a scientist and the subject, what's the raw data that your body is offering? And bringing forth an attitude of receptivity, just opening and receiving whatever the body is doing. It might be pleasant, it might be unpleasant, could be neither, this kind of neutral. And let's expand awareness to include sound in the room or outside of the room that you're in. And bringing awareness back inward to the body. And let's begin to find an anchor for the wandering mind. So you have options. You could actually keep the attention wide and receive sound and the arising and passing of sound. Or you could choose a particular body sensation, such as breath. Anywhere in the body you notice the breath, and it would be the physical expression of the breath. So tracking the feeling internally as you inhale and exhale, where is that breath sensation strongest? And if breath is challenging for any reason today, you could take the palms of your hands and rest them on the top of your thighs, or you could just rest your hands together. And the feeling of the point of contact would be what you return to each time the mind wanders. And the mind will wander a lot. It's just what it does. And all we're doing is simply saying, thinking, not now, release the narrative, the memory, just return to whatever you're using to help stabilize the wandering mind. And just over and over and over again. And noticing where your mind is, softening the body, releasing the narrative, and returning to your anchor. And again, noticing where the mind is, releasing the memory or the planning or the worry, and bring some softness to the body, just releasing any contracting or holding, yet maintaining that upright posture. And just simply return breath sensation or sound or another body sensation, just resting attention. And noticing where the mind is. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our bodies healthy and strong. And may whatever good comes of our practice benefit all beings. And if your eyes were closed or open but gaze downward, taking a moment to just reconnect with the room that you're in, do a little stretch maybe, look around, just to reorient. And so we've got a little bit of time, about 10 minutes or so, if um, folks have questions or comments, and also just sharing ideas or resources. So if you've come across a book or a podcast that you want to share, I'll share one because yesterday on the drive down to my sister's, I listened to Dan Harris interview Devin Barry, and he's a teacher at the Insight Meditation Society and also Spirit Rock out in California. And I thought it was such a great interview, and it was on loving kindness. It was like, and Devin talked about like kind of being allergic to anything related to that, and that his personality generally was kind of skeptical and prickly, and the impact that the loving kindness practice has had. And as everybody knows who joins regularly, that's how I end all my practices. And one of the things that came up in that I thought was really valuable, and I think about it a lot, it's important to keep in mind, is that when you're offering phrases, and it's also important to just custom the phrases for you. And so the ones that I use are ones that I just created on my own. But that you don't have to actually feel all of those. The idea is that it's aspirational, like you are, that's eventually what you want. Um, and as Dr. Richard Davidson says, whatever we incline toward on a regular basis, that's what we start to train. um, Neurons that wire together fire together, neurons that fire together wire together, fire together wire together. So this, to think of these practices, our practice in general, as a training, and it's just an important thing to keep in mind. And so with the loving kindness practice generally, I think it's often best to, sometimes easiest, not best, but sometimes easiest, to start with someone who, it's called a benefactor, somebody who's been helpful in your life, who has unconditionally supported you, loved you. And that could also be a pet. So the idea is you bring that sort of warmth of feeling, wishing this individual all of these qualities of ease in their life, of safety in their life, of health and wellness and strong body, and just conjuring that up, feeling that goodness within yourself, then going to yourself, and then to a neutral person. So somebody whose path you might cross on a somewhat regular basis. It could be somebody who bags your groceries, or somebody that you see out for a walk but have never talked to, and wishing that neutral person that you don't know the phrases, whatever phrases you come up with. Um, and then last is often somebody who's difficult for you. And I think the best way to start is somebody who's just mildly challenging. Um, you see the goodness in this person, but you struggle with them. And again, that's a way to, tap into their own, that person's humanity. That's a tough one, the difficult one. But so that podcast with Dan and Devin Barry is really good, because, as anybody that's listened to Dan would also know that he's a self-described fidgety skeptic and also quite allergic to these kinds of practices, loving kindness. But all it is a training, inclining the mind in a particular way, and to know that you don't actually have to feel these things. And just, uh, I think with all these practices, what's required is trust that there's something to it, and patience, and the willingness to do it on a regular basis. So kind of trust and patience and commitment to regular practice. Allergic to a habit or way of thinking. We can get over our allergies. Yes, Julia. We can get over our allergies. Like, yeah, there is, and I think that so many teachers that have come before me, that have passed, and teachers that I've learned from that are living, many of them, Joseph Goldstein in particular, who I really have always considered to be my first teacher. He just exemplifies these qualities of kindness, of goodness, of acceptance, and I think also, with especially when we think about people that are difficult for us, or navigating our lives, we run into difficult people. The curiosity about what is this person's story, because they probably have a story that has led them to a particular way of engaging in the world that is challenging. And I think coming at it from that angle also is like an angle of loving kindness, compassion, empathy. These are just such important pro-social qualities that contribute to our own happiness. That these are qualities of mind and heart that support our well-being, our sense of ease in the world. And yeah. So anybody else have anything that they would like to offer or share, or podcasts or poems? Yeah, feel free to bring a poem too, anytime. So next week we'll still have practice. I'm having some folks, some of our teachers cover for me. So I will be up in the Thousand Islands, which is way up in New York, up near the Canadian border. So I'll be up there for a week, and I'm hoping it's cooler up there. It isn't always, but it is lovely there. Yeah, the Thousand Islands are pretty remarkable. Yes, home of the salad dressing. Yes, it was invented up there. Um, yeah, I definitely am a cold weather person, and very much look forward to moving into the next season. But I'm trying to do my best to like just receive what we have here in this moment, and head up to Canada, or close to Canada. I mean, it's 4 miles, and when you're out on a boat, you'll usually get a message on your phone that says you've just entered Canadian waters. So I am reminded to put my phone on airplane mode. Well, everybody, I sorry I won't see you next week, but you'll be in good hands. I think covering for me is Jackie Johnson and Christine O'Shaughnessy. So they'll be covering, and I'm not sure who's teaching on Tuesday, but Wednesday and Thursday it's either Jackie or Christine. So yeah, thank you for the well wishes, and yeah, great substitutes. Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you not next week, but the week after. Okay, take good care. Thank you for the messages, everybody.